Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Again, my tissue. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Jayam Vishupad Paramahamsa Pri Vrajagacharya Stotra Satta Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Shiraboy Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya's Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Samavata Bhaktivedanta Ki Hari Nama Sankirtana Ki Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Dainita Gaura Pimanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada Ki. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Taksuranmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavam Sya Sri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabarutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanditam Sya Hai Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evasya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraya. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, let us first offer our respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Nara, Narayana Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Sri Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Prayashabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee. All that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samitam Uttama Sloka Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasyayanam Mahat. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Granthara, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God as Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Sarabhyaya Namaha Om Sarabhyaya Namaha Om Sarabhyaya Namaha Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkripat maham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam yatkripat maham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. It is written anywhere? Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. So we are reading from third canto, part 2, chapter 12, right? 32. Chapter 32, correct, yeah. Text number? 30, yes. Canto 3, chapter 32, text 30. Etad vai Shraddhaya Bhaktya Yoga Bhyasena Nityashaha Samahitatma Nisango Viraktya Paripashyati Etad vai Shraddhaya Bhaktya Yoga Bhyasena Nityashaha Samahitatma Nisango Viraktya Paripashyati Etad vai Shraddhaya Bhaktya Yogabhyasena nityasah. Samahitatmani sango. Viraktya paripashyati. Etadvai shraddhaya bhaktya. Yogabhyasena nityashah. Samahitatmani sango. Viraktya paripashyati.
एतद्वै श्रद्धया भक्त्या योगाभ्यासेन नित्यशः समाहितात्मा निस्सङ्गो विरक्त्या परिपश्यति
Ladies. Etad, this, why, certainly, Shraddhaya, with faith, Bhaktya, by devotional service, Yoga Abhyasena, by practice of yoga, Nityashah, always, Samahita Atma, he whose mind is fixed, Nisangaha, aloof from material association. Viraktya, by detachment. Paripashyati, understands. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. This perfect knowledge can be achieved by a person who is already engaged in devotional service with faith, steadiness, and full detachment, and who is always absorbed in thought of the Supreme.
శ్రద్ధతోనూ సమాహిత చిత్తంతోనూ పూర్ణ వైరాగ్యంతోనూ భక్తి యోగం నెలకొని ఉండి భగవత్ చింతన ఇదే సదా రకమైన వానికి ఈ పూర్ణ జ్ఞానం లభించగలదు. అటివాడు నిస్సంగుడై ఉండును.
He is aloof from material association. Okay, you read that already. Purport. The atheistic, mystic practitioner of yoga cannot understand this perfect knowledge.
నాస్తికుడైన యోగాభ్యాసి ఈ పూర్ణ జ్ఞానమును తెలుసుకొనగలడు.
Only persons who engage in the practical activities of devotional service in full consciousness can become absorbed in full samadhi.
భక్తుల సేవ ద్వారా కర్మయందు నిలబడిన వారే పూర్ణ సమాధిమంతులు కాగలరు. సమస్త దృష్టి జగత్తును ఒక సత్యము మరియు దాని కారణంగా కాల్చగలరు.
It is possible for them to see and understand the actual fact of the entire cosmic manifestation and its cause.
సమస్త దృష్టి జగత్తు యొక్క సత్యము మరియు దాని కారణం కాంచగలరు. ఎరుగ వారికే సాధ్యపడను.
It is clearly stated here that this is not possible to understand for one who has not developed devotional service in full faith.
శ్రద్ధాత్మకు భక్తిని పడని వానికి దాని ఎరుగుట సాధ్యపడని విషయం స్పష్టంగా తెలుపబడింది. సమాహితాత్మ సమాధి అనేది సాధ్య పర్యాయ పదము.
The words samahitatma and samadhi are synonymous. Translation again. This perfect knowledge can be achieved by a person who is always engaged in devotional service with faith, steadiness, and full detachment, and who is always absorbed in thought of the Supreme. He is aloof from material association.
శ్రద్ధతోనూ సమాహిత చిత్తంతోనూ పూర్ణ వైరాగ్యంతోనూ భక్తి యోగం నెలకొని ఉండి భగవత్ చింతనైతే సదారకమైన వాడికి ఈ పూర్ణ జ్ఞానం లభించగలదు. అటు వాడు నిస్సంగుడై ఉండును.
Yes. So this chapter is entitled Entanglement in Fruitive Activities. Both, there are two types of living entities who are entangled in fruitive activities. One type are those who are following Shastra but do not know about devotional service. They are engaged in pious activities. And the other category are those who are not following Shastra and they are engaged in sinful activities. The other category are those who are not following Shastra and are engaged in sinful activities. So both of these categories, either they create good karma or create bad karma. Prabhupada explains that good karma and bad karma both are bad karma.
లోపల గమనిస్తారు పుణ్యకర్మ పాపకర్మ ఈ రెండు కూడా సో చెడులే.
Yes, because by so-called pious activities devoid of devotional service, we are simply creating a better material situation for the future.
పుణ్యకర్మ ద్వారా భక్తి మార్గానికి దూరంగా అవుతారు కానీ వాళ్ళకు కేవలం ఒక మంచి ఫెసిలిటీస్ లేదంటే కొన్ని వసతులు కలుగుతాయి భవిష్యత్తులో.
But the goal of life is not to create a better material situation for the present nor for the future.
జీవితం మొత్తం కూడా కేవలం భౌతికమైనటువంటి వసతులు కల్పించుకోవడం కాదు.
Goal of life is to put an end to all types of good and bad material activities. The goal of life is to put an end to all good and bad material activities.
జీవిత లక్ష్యం ఏంటంటే మనకి చెడు మంచి ఈ రెండు కలకి కొలుసపడింది మన యొక్క లక్ష్యం.
And this is only possible if one is fortunate to know about and to fully take up activities of pure devotional service.
ఇది ఎలా సాధ్యమవుతుందంటే కేవలం భక్తి మార్గాన్ని అనుసరించడం ద్వారా మాత్రమే సాధ్యమవుతుంది.
That is a unique and special feature and advantage of this process of devotional service.
ఇది ప్రత్యేకమైనటువంటి అవకాశం ఇది భక్తి మార్గం ద్వారా.
Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Ashubhairagyam Jnanam Sayad Haitukam. By the process of Bhakti Yoga, one automatically gains knowledge.
మనకి భక్తి యోగం ద్వారా ఒకరు ఆటోమేటిక్గా జ్ఞానం అనేది పొందవచ్చు.
Because without knowledge we cannot come out of this material world.
లేదంటే ఈ యొక్క భౌతిక ప్రపంచం నుండి బయటపడడం అది దొరకదు.
And also, in addition to knowledge, Bhakti Yoga leads to natural detachment from material activities.
భక్తి యోగం ద్వారా ఇంకొక అవకాశం ఏంటంటే ఈ జ్ఞానమే కాకుండా ఈ కర్మలన్నింటినీ కూడా భౌతికమైనటువంటి కర్మలన్నింటినీ కూడా దూరంగా ఉండవచ్చు.
And generally, we are attached to material opulence, we are attached to sense gratification.
సహజంగా మనందరం కూడా భౌతికమైనటువంటి వస్తువుల పట్ల భౌతికమైనటువంటి జగత్తు పట్ల ఆసక్తి కనబరుస్తున్నాం.
Therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed asat sanga tyaga e vaishnavachar stri sangi ekosadu Krishna abhakta ad. Asat sanga. There is sat and asat. Sat means what is eternal. Asat is the opposite, what is temporary. Material activities are temporary, spiritual activities are eternal.
శ్రీ చైతన్య మహాప్రభు ఏంటంటే కాబట్టి మనం శాశ్వత దానికే మనం ఆసక్తి కనబరచాలి, అశాశ్వత దానికి ఆసక్తి కనబరచకూడదు. దీంట్లో స్త్రీ సంధి తర్వాత స్త్రీని అనుసరించుకోవాలి. సో మనం వాటి ఆసక్తి కనబరచకూడదు చెప్తారు.
You missed them. Hey, he wants to talk to you. So, asat, quickly. Asat Sangha, what are the important instructions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? It is one of the important instructions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
అసత్ సంగం అనేది
The verse we are mentioning, it is one of the important instructions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the verse Asat Sanga Tyaga.
సో చైతన్య ప్రధాన అంశం ఏంటంటే
Therefore, devotees should always seek the good association of other devotees. And should always endeavor to be nicely, favorably engaged in activities of devotional service. Yes, whole Vedic culture is arranged in such a way that we are meant to have constant good association. So this we find in so many places. There are so many activities, even spiritual activities that people perform, but if it is not connected with Krishna, if it is not connected with devotional service, such people will remain entangled in the material world. Yes. So these are the important instructions. This is Sankhya philosophy, which is being explained by Lord Kapila Dev to his mother Devahuti. The essence of Sankhya philosophy is this practice of pure, unalloyed devotional service to Krishna. And to attain that pure, unalloyed devotional service of Krishna is not so easy. Yes, it cannot be falsely practiced. It must, in a natural way, awaken within the heart of a devotee. Yeah. It will naturally and gradually awaken if we very strictly follow the process recommended in the Shastra. Yes. And that is meant to be the constant endeavor, the constant meditation of someone who wants to be an actual devotee of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada explains that is why we have established or created the International Society for Krishna Consciousness to facilitate this association amongst devotees. We cannot advance in Krishna consciousness without the good association of devotees. And generally, our advancement in devotional service will be checked or hampered or stopped because of improper association with devotees.
అనవసరమైనటువంటి అసంగం ద్వారా అసత్సంగం ద్వారా మనకు భక్తి అనేది ఆటంకాలు.
That is the greatest challenge for all of us as devotees, how to nicely, how to properly associate with other devotees.
ఇది నిజంగా చెప్పాలంటే ఇది గొప్ప ఆటంకం. సో
that is the beginning of Krishna consciousness. That is on the level of what is called Sambandha Gyan. What is Sambandha Gyan?
మనకి సంబంధ జ్ఞానంలో ప్రారంభంలో ఖచ్చితంగా ఇది ఈ యొక్క భక్తుల సంబంధం విధానం. సంబంధ జ్ఞానం అంటే ఏంటి?
Sambandha is the first level, which is generally the more difficult level for practicing Krishna consciousness.
సంబంధ జ్ఞానం అనేది ఎప్పుడైతే భక్తి యోగం ప్రారంభిస్తుందో ఇది ఆచరణకి ప్రారంభం.
Yes, Sambandha has to do with learning to establish good, healthy, wholesome relationship between ourselves as devotees and also establishing relationship with other living entities.
సంబంధ జ్ఞానం ఏమిటి అంటే మనకి తర్వాత భక్తుల మధ్య ఉన్నటువంటి ఒక ప్రామాణికమైనటువంటి సంబంధాన్ని కలిగి ఉండడం, అదే కాకుండా దీని ఎప్పుడైతే అభివృద్ధి చెందుతారో ఇతర జీవుల పట్ల కూడా సో ఈ యొక్క సంబంధాన్ని కలిగి ఉంటారు. మంచి తర్వాత ఆరోగ్యవంతమైనటువంటి సంబంధాన్ని కలిగి ఉంటారు.
Yes. So these instructions of Lord Kapila are very, very important for all of us to understand this science of bhakti or devotional service.
ఇది చాలా ప్రధానం. ఎందుకంటే కపిల మహర్షి యొక్క భక్తి యొక్క మార్గాన్ని యొక్క సైన్స్ ఏదంటే ప్రాధాన్యతను వివరించారు.
And here it is mentioned actually how what is needed to achieve this perfect knowledge of devotional service.
ఇక్కడ వర్ణించిన ఏమిటంటే ఈ శ్లోకంలో ఏ రకమైన పరిపూర్ణ జ్ఞానాన్ని పొందవచ్చు.
Yeah. One must establish and develop and increase one's faith in Krishna and in the process of devotional service.
ఎప్పుడైతే మనం మన యొక్క విశ్వాసాన్ని పెంపొందించుకుంటామో ఈ యొక్క పద్ధతిలో అప్పుడు మాత్రమే కృష్ణుడి యొక్క పట్ల సో అనుభూతిని కలుగుతుంది.
So faith, it begins actually with faith. Ado shraddha tatu sadhu sangha. If we have strong faith, we will be anxious. We will have a strong desire to associate with other devotees.
ఎప్పుడైతే మనకు మంచి శ్రద్ధ ఉంటుందో అప్పుడు మాత్రం ఇతర భక్తులతో సాంగత్యం చేయాలి అనేటువంటి కోరిక కలుగుతుంది.
Then here it is mentioned steadiness. What does it mean to be steady? It means to be very regulated and do things just like chanting our 16 rounds. We should be steady in the practice of chanting our rounds, in the practice of attending Srimad Bhagavatam class like this.
మనకి స్థిరత్వం విధానం, స్థిరత్వం ఏంటి? రెండు విషయాలు. ఒకటి ఉదాహరణలు జపం చేయడం, రెండవది శ్రీమద్ భాగవతం ప్రవచన.
Steadiness in our practice will bring us to the level of goodness, mode of goodness.
ఈ స్థిరత్వం అనేది ఎప్పుడు వస్తుందంటే ఎప్పుడు మన సత్వంలో స్థితిలో ఉన్నాం అప్పుడు మనకి ఈ స్థిరత్వం లభిస్తుంది.
Yes. So faith, steadiness, and then full detachment. Full detachment means is only possible if we are fully engaged in Krishna service.
స్థిరత్వము, విశ్వాసం, అదే కాకుండా ఈ భౌతిక ప్రపంచంలో అనాసక్తి ఇది ఎప్పుడు కలుగుతుందంటే ఎప్పుడైతే మనం తీవ్రంగా భక్తి చేస్తామో భక్తి మార్గంలో అనుసరిస్తామో అప్పుడు మాత్రం కలుగుతుంది.
And two other points being made here. One who is always absorbed in thought of the Supreme. Yeah. What are the two ways to be always situated in thought? Hare Krishna. What are the two ways by which we can always be situated in thought of the Supreme? Who can say? Now I'm forcing you to think. What are the two ways to actually fall in samadhi without falling? What are the two ways to actually become situated in samadhi? But mention only one, not two, to give a chance to others. His hand is up. You're the first, he's the second. Let's see, okay. Let's see if he has one of the two. What are the two ways to actually become situated in samadhi? Shravanam and Kirtanam. Yes, that is the process, and I'm not exactly the answer I'm looking for, but that is correct. That is the beginning process. Hey, you have to be recognized. His hand was up.
Chanting the holy names.
Chanting the holy name. Well, he said like that also. Hearing and chanting. Yeah, chanting the holy name. There are two. Okay, let's see. Huh?
To think of the pastimes of the Lord.
To think of the pastimes of the Lord.
And recite it down.
Huh?
And to recite it down.
And what?
Residing down in Sigma.
Reside in Dham. Mathuravasa, yes.
By doing activities, whatever Krishnudiకి ప్రీతికరమైన activities చేయడం.
But the activities which are dear to Krishna, performing what are the activities which are dear to Krishna, by way so we can.
Okay. So, because in the purport, Srila Prabhupada speaks about samadhi. So there are two ways to attain samadhi, yes? Listening regularly to Bhagavatam. Yes, it's all good stuff. Yeah.
Follow the instructions of spiritual master.
Follow the instructions of the spiritual master, yes.
Be humble.
And be humble. Yes, that is all there. So, in one purport of the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada explains how those who are on the Paramahamsa level, the Uttamadhikari, they are in constant samadhi. Because, yes, they're constantly remembering the pastimes of Krishna. But that is very rare. Our goal actually is to become situated in samadhi, means always connected with Krishna. And one who attains that level of Paramahamsa or Uttamadhikari, he is totally aloof from material world.
కృష్ణుడి చింతన సదా చేయమని, అదేలో ఎవరైతే దాంట్లో స్థితులు ఉంటారో ఆటోమేటిక్గా మనం ఈ భౌతిక ప్రపంచం నుండి అనాసక్తితో ఉంటాం.
That is one example. The other example, or the other way to actually experience samadhi, the other way to experience samadhi is to be constantly thinking about and active in various activities, pushing forward the mission of the Lord. When one is fully absorbed in thinking about and doing various activities that will help push forward the mission of the Lord, that is another kind of samadhi. That is also samadhi. Not another kind of samadhi, but another way to become situated in samadhi.
సమాధి ఏంటంటే ఇంకొకటి ఏమిటంటే ఏదైతే భగవంతుడి యొక్క మిషన్ దాని లోపల దాన్ని అభివృద్ధి చేయడం కోసం అది కూడా ఇంకొకటి సమాధి.
Yes, and that is why Srila Prabhupada, I'm sure you have heard before, he would tell us to be engaged in devotional service how many hours a day?
20
Hey, you're translating. Translators forget their translators, you know. Huh? 8 hours. You didn't hear him. 24 hours. 24 hours a day. How to become situated in devotional service 24 hours a day? Huh? How to become situated in pure devotional service 24 hours a day? Begin by hearing. Huh? But that is the question. How to become situated in pure devotional service 24 hours a day? One small example. When Srila Prabhupada was beginning his projects in India many years ago, what were the three main... All glories to children. They keep us busy. What were the three main projects that Prabhupada had when he started his preaching in India? Prabhupada had three main projects. Then so many more came afterwards, but the three first initial projects were Vrindavan. Huh? Vrindavan, Juhu, and Mayapur. Yes. Juhu means Mumbai. Not everyone knows that. Okay, yeah. So Prabhupada, these three projects required a lot of money. Yeah, just like to build this temple also required a lot of money. But more money actually was required in Vrindavan, Mumbai, and Mayapur. So there was one sannyasi who took to heart, because Prabhupada told him one time, my disciples, they're not so spontaneously giving for these projects. Prabhupada had told this to one of his disciples, sannyasi disciples. So he decided, okay, Prabhupada, don't worry, I will collect all the money you need for these projects.
So శిష్యులందరూ కూడా ఎవరు కూడా హృదయపూర్వకంగా సేవ చేయలేరు అన్నప్పుడు ఒక సన్యాసి అన్నారు, ప్రభుపాద నేను ఖచ్చితంగా నేను చేస్తాను, నేను హృదయపూర్వకంగా చేస్తాను అని చెప్పేసి అంటారు.
This is an example of someone who took up some kind of specific project just to please his spiritual master.
దీని అర్థం ఏంటంటే సో గురువు యొక్క మిషన్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ని ప్రత్యేకంగా తను హృదయపూర్వకంగా స్వీకరించారు.
Yes. Perfection of life, actually, perfection of disciple is how to fulfill the desires and how to please the spiritual master. That is the same, how to please Krishna, how to fulfill Krishna's desires.
మనకి జీవిత లక్ష్యం ఏంటంటే ఒక శిష్యుడి యొక్క లక్ష్యం, జీవిత లక్ష్యం ఏంటంటే ఏ రకంగా గురువుని సంతోషించినది.
So he had a group of devotees and they would travel to different countries and they would distribute books and they would collect a lot of money, and in this way, one time he came to Vrindavan and he gave a good amount of money to Srila Prabhupada.
ఆ రకంగా ఎంతోమంది భక్తులు బుద్ధిస్ట్ మిషన్కి వస్తున్నటువంటి తర్వాత డబ్బులు కలెక్ట్ చేయడం కోసం వెళ్ళేవారు. తర్వాత వాళ్ళని తీసుకొచ్చేసి వృద్ధావనంలో శివపాదకు వచ్చారు.
When he gave this money to Srila Prabhupada, he was telling that, Srila Prabhupada, these devotees who are working with me, they're very surrendered. They're working very hard. They're working, he was trying to impress to Srila Prabhupada that his team of devotees were working very hard to please Prabhupada. They're working 18 hours a day, going out all the time, collecting.
సో భక్తులు చెప్తుందంటే ప్రభుపాద మన ఈ యొక్క టీమ్ మెంబర్స్ అయితే ఉన్నారో భక్తులు అయితే ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళందరూ 18 గంటలు ప్రయత్నిస్తున్నారు, సేవ చేస్తున్నారు అని చెప్పేసి ప్రభుపాదని కొంచెం ఇంప్రెస్ చేయడానికి ప్రయత్నిస్తున్నారు.
So Prabhupada was just hearing him and he was sensing that he was a little proud of his work. And Prabhupada, after hearing him, he responded, our program is not 18 hours a day, it is 24 hours a day. So even if we put in 10 hours a day or 12 hours a day, unless and until we reach 24, we're not fully surrendered. So one other devotee recently I was hearing was being interviewed. One of Prabhupada's disciples who's been serving one Mataji in Vrindavan for many, over 50 years practically. And she was telling that, yes, our program is 24 hours a day. If we are engaged in distributing books and performing all kinds, if we do these things with very strong feeling, then when we sleep at night, we will continue to distribute books in our dreams. Hare!
పుస్తకం చేయాలని చెప్తుంది. అలాగే కాకుండా ఒకవేళ చేస్తున్నట్లయితే మనకి రాత్రి కళలో కూడా సో ఇదే పుస్తకం చేస్తున్నట్టు విషయాలు గుర్తుకొస్తాయని చెప్తారు.
It's like if someone is engaged in sinful activities during the day, he will most likely be dreaming about doing sinful activities at night also.
మనం పగటిపూట కూడా అంటే పాపకర్మ చేస్తుంటాం, రాత్రి పవిత్ర కళలోకి వస్తాం.
So that is how we can actually come to that point of fully engaging ourselves by at least during the day, we should keep ourselves very busy in devotional service, and in this way we will become aloof or separated from material activities or material entanglement.
కాబట్టి మనం భగవద్గీత భక్తులు కూడా చాలా తీవ్రంగా కష్టపడి సో భక్తులు భగవద్గీత సేవ చేస్తున్నట్లయితే ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఈ యొక్క భౌతిక విషయం యొక్క పట్ల ఆసక్తి అనేది ఏర్పడుతుంది.
Yes. I'll just read the verse again, very briefly. Very important instruction. This perfect knowledge can be achieved by a person who is already engaged in devotional service with faith, steadiness, and full detachment, and who is always absorbed in thought of the Supreme. He is aloof from material association.
శ్రద్ధతో సామాన్య చిత్తంతో పూర్ణ వైరాగ్యంతో భక్తియోగమున నెలకి నుండి భగవచ్చింతనే శ్రావణ వానికి ఈ పూర్ణ జ్ఞానం లభించగలదు. అట్టి వాడు నిస్సంగుడై ఉండును.
Yes. Any thoughts, questions, or comments?
And question of
Father was told that she works for 7 hours every 10-15 hours. Rest in dreams she will do accept.
Can you repeat that?
Mataji
Yeah, Mataji.
told Prabhupada that in dreams, whenever she was sleeping, she was dreaming about distributing books and all.
Yes.
So that Prabhupada, what did he say?
I was talking about two people. One was the sannyasi who was talking with Prabhupada. This Mataji was not talking with Prabhupada. Mataji was just being interviewed. And she was making the point that if we remain nicely engaged in different activities, she gave the example of distributing books, then there are good chances that when we dream, we will dream about distributing books. That's a devotional dream, right? You don't want to translate that?
ప్రభుజీ అడిగిన ప్రశ్న ప్రభుజీ అనుకున్నారు ఏమంటే ప్రభుపాద గారు సో మాత్రం చెప్పారు ఈ రకంగా దేవతం వైపుడు మొత్తం కూడా సో బుక్స్ వితరణ చేసినట్లయితే రాత్రి కూడా కళ్ళకు వస్తాయి, అదే బుక్స్ వితరణ చేసినట్టుగా కళ్ళకు వస్తాయి. కానీ ప్రభుపాద చెప్పారు ఇక్కడ మాతాజీ ఒక మీటింగ్లో ఈ విషయాన్ని చర్చించారు అని చెప్పారు.
If we make nice garlands for Krishna, and when we do garlands, if we are attentive in how we are making those garlands, then there's good chances that we may dream about making nice garlands for Krishna. Or any activity which is performed for the pleasure and satisfaction of Krishna. Yes. Yes.
I have a small doubt on Kirtan standards.
Huh? Can you?
Kirtan standards.
One doubt about Kirtan standards. Yes.
During temple aratis, a lot of people are interested to play djembe and other Western instruments.
A lot of people are
Interested to play Western instruments like djembe and all.
to play various instruments.
Western instruments.
Western, okay, particularly Western instruments. Yes.
Is it there in Prabhupada's system? In temple arati things.
In the temple hall, so some devotees likes to play other Western instruments. So is there in Prabhupada's instructions?
Okay, you can translate the question.
సో ప్రభుత్వ ప్రశ్న అంటే ఒక్కోసారి కీర్తన చేసినప్పుడు కొంతమంది భక్తులు జీవితం అలాంటి కొన్ని పాశ్చాత్య పరికరాలు ఉపయోగిస్తారు కీర్తించడం కోసం. ప్రభుత్వ వారు ఈ విషయాన్ని ఇలా ఉపయోగించని చెప్పి చెప్పారా తెచ్చి టెంపుల్ హాల్లో మందిరంలో.
In the early days, Srila Prabhupada allowed different types of Western instruments because he was in the Western world, dealing with Western people.
సో ప్రారంభంలో ప్రభుపాద గారు సో దీన్ని రికమెండ్ చేశారు, ఎందుకంటే అతను పాశ్చాత్య దేశంలో ఉన్నారు కాబట్టి సో రికమెండ్ చేశారు.
There is a book actually that was published maybe a few years ago by His Holiness Jai Advaita Maharaj. You've read that book?
I read a little part.
A little bit, okay. So you have to finish reading the whole book, then all your questions will be answered. So generally Prabhupada instructed that our line or tradition in terms of kirtan is sufficient with what Lord Chaitanya has introduced in terms of kol, kartal, and sometimes harmonium for bhajans, but generally in the temple for regular kirtan, kol kartal is sufficient. Sometimes when devotees do programs, somebody might come along with a flute. Flute is not Western. That's also. Yeah.
సో సరేంటే మన సంస్కృతి ప్రకారంగా చైతన్య మహాప్రభు పరిచయం చేసినట్టుగా ప్రార్థన విధంగా నాకు సో రికమెండ్ చేయబడింది. సో మందిరంలో అయితే హార్మోనియం కూడా కొన్నిసార్లు భజన చేసినప్పుడు ఉపయోగిస్తాం. బయటకు వెళ్ళినట్లయితే కొంత ఫ్లూట్ అంటే వేరు ఇవి ఉపయోగించవచ్చు.
Yeah. So there is the principle of what is called Kaladesha Patra, according to time, place, and circumstance. Generally, in our temples, especially in India, even outside of India, the general standard is, as I mentioned, mridanga, kartal, gong, 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 such traditional instruments.
మనకి దేశకాల అనుసారంగా మనం వర్తించవచ్చు. సో కొన్ని మార్లు మనం చూసినట్లయితే లాంగ్ అనేది సో గంట కొడుతుంటాం, అవి కూడా ఉపయోగించవచ్చు.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Any other thought? Question? No? Okay. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Gauda Pimanande. We used to give prasadam at the end of the class before. The one can leave the temple room without first taking prasadam.